She walked into the woods and was never seen again. Part 2, subtitle, The Abandoned Camp, The Whistling Sound, and a Secret Hidden Beneath the Pines. When searchers found those photos, especially the one showing Anna from behind, taken just before she vanished, they thought they'd finally found the truth. But what they didn't know was that the box they found wasn't the only one buried in that forest. And what was inside the second box would change everything. Before we dive in, hit subscribe and turn on the bell, because this case is about to take a turn darker than anyone expected. The morning after the discovery, police sealed off the area. The campsite was old, maybe years old, but the photos were fresh. Someone had been there recently, and they'd been watching. Forensics started combing through the area inch by inch. They found cigarette butts, food wrappers, a torn page from a hiking log. But what made investigators stop cold was a camera lens, half buried near the ashes of the campfire. The serial number matched Anna's missing camera, but her camera body was nowhere to be found. That suggested one thing: someone had taken it after she vanished. At this point, the FBI joined the investigation. They mapped out every trail, every old logging road, even drone scanned the canopy. One analyst noticed a faint trail leading away from the campsite, barely visible, almost erased. At the end of it, another small clearing. And in that clearing, a second metal box. Inside were recordings. Mini SD cards, wrapped in plastic, with dates written in smudged ink when they played the first one. It was mostly static. Wind. Birds. Then, faint whistling. And a woman's voice, whispering, "Please stop recording." That voice was confirmed to be Anna's. If you're still here, hit like to keep this story alive, because what's coming next is both disturbing and heartbreaking. The second SD card contained video footage. Night vision. The view was shaky, handheld. It showed a forest floor. Someone walking barefoot. Then, the camera tilts up, revealing Anna, tied to a tree, looking directly at the lens. She wasn't crying. She looked calm. But her lips were moving, whispering something. When they enhanced the audio, they realized what she was saying. "He follows the sound too." The video cuts there. The FBI traced the equipment to a local hardware store. The store clerk remembered selling the same SD cards and a motion sensor to a man who smelled like smoke and wore a red flannel jacket. But there was no name, no receipt. Still, a ranger remembered something. A cabin, long abandoned, about half a mile east of Whisper Point. Locals said it used to belong to a man named Walter Crane, a hunter who vanished back in the 1990s. Police hiked out there. What they found was like a time capsule frozen in fear. The cabin door was nailed shut. Inside, dusty, silent, reeking of decay. On one wall hung dozens of maps, each with circles drawn around random points in the forest. Next to them, photos of hikers, campers, even kids, all taken from a distance, but one photo stood out. It was a group picture, search and rescue volunteers from the first week of Anna's disappearance. Meaning, whoever was taking these photos was still there, watching the search for her. Midway through the inspection, an officer noticed something odd. Beneath the floorboards, the wood felt hollow. They pried it open and found a trapdoor leading into an underground cellar. Down there, it was damp, cold, and silent. But on one wall, scrawled in charcoal, were words, "Don't follow the sound. He waits for the curious. She's not the first." And in the corner, a skeleton. DNA confirmed it belonged to Walter Crane, the cabin's owner. But he'd been dead for over 20 years. So who took Anna? Who buried those boxes? Who filmed that footage? If this case has you hooked, subscribe now, because we're about to reach the part that completely flips everything. 1 month later, hikers found a third box. This one wasn't buried. It was nailed to a tree near the old Whisper Point trail, where Anna's phone had last pinged. Inside were 3 items: a broken GPS tracker, a Polaroid of Anna's missing camera, and a note written in neat handwriting: "Stop digging. She's home." The writing was compared to Anna's, and it matched. But how could that be? She'd been missing for over a year. Investigators thought it might be a hoax, until a new photo surfaced online, uploaded anonymously. It showed a forest, taken from above, drone footage. In the center of the frame was a figure walking down the trail. Zooming in, you could see her face. It was Anna, same clothes, same red bandana. Taken days before the photo was posted. The account that uploaded it was traced to an internet cafe 2 towns away, but the user had paid in cash. used a disposable email, and left no digital trail. At this point, authorities reopened the case. Locals began reporting strange things: distant whistling, flashes of red cloth, and once, a figure seen moving just beyond flashlight range. Every time they tried to follow it, it would vanish. The last recorded clue came from a ranger's dashcam. He was patrolling the area near Silver Pine. At 3:17 a.m., his camera caught a brief figure standing at the edge of the road. Female, barefoot, wearing a red bandana. She turned toward the car, raised her hand, and pointed back toward the woods. Then, she disappeared into the trees. To this day, no one knows what happened to Anna Meyers. Her body was never found. But new hikers still stumble across her makeshift stone markers, small stacks leading deeper into the forest, all ending at the same tree with a carving that reads, "He's waiting." Was it a human predator? Something supernatural? Or did Anna leave behind a trail to warn anyone who dares to follow? If you believe Anna's story deserves to be told, share this video. It helps these cases reach the people who might know more. And don't forget to subscribe for part 3, where we uncover the truth about the Whistler and the shocking evidence hidden in one last video file recovered from her missing camera.